So here we go. Number one of 20 things. Your nipples don't necessarily match. Just as your breasts probably aren't the exact same size and shape, one is fuller perhaps, the other is closer to your armpit, neither are your nipples. Is this just for women or is this for guys too? I mean, we have nipples, Greg. Maybe one nipple is a bit bigger or higher or lower, and that's totally normal, says Nikita Shah, a medical doctor and a breast cancer specialist in Orlando. Okay, so they don't necessarily match. But of course, if you think something's changed, maybe you should go get it checked out. Like, oh, you know, this nipple was completely different 5 years ago. That I would go to a doctor. This nipple does not look like the way it was 5 years ago. All right, here you go. Nipples can be outies and innies. I know this because I knew someone who had one outie and one innie, and I didn't know how to react to it. Most nipples protrude outward, coming to a point at the tip of each breast, but 10 to 20% of women have nipples that are either perfectly flat or inverted. There's nothing wrong with a flat nipple. Inverted, meaning that they point inward and retract into the breast tissue. That happens to some of our peni. There are people out there that definitely, it's not me. I don't have a retractable penis. But there is that. What are we doing? Oh, we're getting there. Number 4. Nipple size and color can vary. Well, we know that. So we don't have to read that. And, yeah. And also here, the bumps on areolas, they have a purpose. Did you know that, ladies and gentlemen? I remember the first time I saw bumpy areolas. You want to hear that one? I didn't know I had so many boob stories. I was only about 5 or 6 years old, about six or 7 years old, and I was in a dressing room. My father used to put on these. He was an MC for these dive shows. Okay, they were at the Westchester County Center, and they were these shows where people would like model diving equipment and different types of bathing suits and things like that. And because he was the MC and he knew the person that was putting the whole thing together, there was a couple of years in a row, and he would say he would ask me and Anthony, "You guys want to be part of the dive show?" And we would put on these like rubber swimsuits and that go all the way up to your neck and stuff like that. I still remember the smell of those suits. But in either case, we were young. I had to be about 7 years old or something like that. And Anthony's 2 years younger than me. Maybe I was 8, whatever. But we had to use a dressing room that these women that were in. My mom took us into this dressing room to get us in, and she got in front of me to block my view of some of the girls that were changing behind her. And of course, you know, she told them, "Don't worry, they're not going to see anything." And they were fine with it because we were so young, and they were quickly putting on bathing suits and stuff like that. The other girls there, they were older. Like, if I were to estimate now, they were probably in their mid to late 20s, early 30s. And I remember to this day, it was like seeing heaven for the first time. Big, round, beautiful boobs, but I was like, wow, what? There's like little dots around that big dot. What the hell's that all about? Didn't know what the hell was going on there. But now I'm going to learn about the purpose of those dots. So let's go to the areolas and see the bumps. Okay. The small bumps on the areolas, the pigmented area that surrounds the actual nipple itself, are called Montgomery tubercles. Tubercles? Tubercles. Tubercles. And they secrete oil that helps lubricate the nipple during pregnancy and lactation. That oil isn't just to prevent dryness and chafing. It has antibacterial properties. And its scent may even help attract infants to the breast. I got you. Okay. So they're oil secretors. You women are just amazing. You really are. Isn't it amazing, Susan? Nipple hair is totally natural. Nipple hair is totally natural. We don't have to stick around with that for too long. Number 7, pierced nipples can be health risks. Yeah, I don't know. I would never do it. I don't, to each their own. I just would never do it. I don't want that to happen. You may have heard that nipple piercings make foreplay more exciting. Or you might just like how celebrities look flaunting the nipple ring trend. But before you take that plunge, know the important risks. Nipple piercing increases the odds of painful breast infection tenfold, according to a 2010 University of Iowa study. It can also possibly damage the ducts that produce milk for breastfeeding, or trigger an allergic reaction and set you up for an itchy, ugly rash or swelling. Oh. So watch out there, ladies. Obviously, this is all for ladies. I thought that this was like for everybody. Discharge is usually normal. It's not unheard of or unnecessarily anything to worry about if your nipples occasionally leak a clear or whitish fluid. This discharge sounds weird, but it can be triggered when your nipples are stimulated by exercise, sexual activity, or being rubbed or chafed. Like Andy Bernard from the Office. His nipples chafe. That's why he puts the piece of cotton over it. And when he was running the Michael Scott 4K for rabies, and he goes, it's happening. And in the next scene, you see that he's got blood. He's got blood coming through the shirts. His nipples are bleeding. I'm going to go watch that. That's episode 1 of season 4. That's episode 1 of season 4, I believe. That's a good one. Okay, let's go to so discharge is normal, ladies and gentlemen. Just mind who you're discharging around. I would say there might be some kind of an etiquette thing there. Some people have 3 nipples or more. I didn't have a 3rd nipple. I had a cherry mole. Okay, so just for everybody out there, more. How does this happen? 2 breasts mean 2 nipples, right? Not always. In rare cases, a person can have a 3rd nipple or even several additional smaller nipples, sometimes mistaken for moles. Known as an accessory or supernumerary nipple. These can occur anywhere along the vertical lines where your breasts are, from head to toe, says Dr. Shah. Where do these extra headlights come from? Early in pregnancy, a growing fetus develops something called a mammary ridge along the chest. Later on, this mammary ridge regresses and becomes 2 nipples, except in rare cases when the ridge doesn't fully regress and an extra nipple, or 2 or 3, remain. Wow. I always thought that was just, I don't know, just something. But an actual 3rd, okay, so now I understand. Pregnancy can change the color of nipples. I know that. I was pregnant once. So yes, but they do turn back. Don't worry about it, ladies. Breast cancer survivors don't have to part with their nipples. Oh, that's good to know. So they can save the nipple. Because I know sometimes it could clean off. Diagnosis and undergoing mastectomy doesn't necessarily mean losing your entire breast. Therefore, nipple as well. Okay, good to know. Moving along. Breast cancer survivors also have the option of nipple tattoos. I know about those. I've heard about nipple tattoos. Nipple orgasms are real. Damn. Nipple orgasms are real. They're soft, they're sensitive, and they're loaded with nerve endings. So no wonder nipple stimulation. Has anybody ever had an orgasm from nipple stimulation? You can email me privately and just say yes or no. But that's the whole thing. Is this only nipple stimulation? Part of a couple sexual repertoire, and while not every woman enjoys having her headlights touched and kissed, some women feel such pleasure during nipple play, they actually are able to orgasm from nipple stimulation alone. You gotta let me know. Alone. Wow. Well. Nipple stimulation can induce labor. I also thought that rubbing the knees, like around the pressure points around the knees, can induce labor too. I thought that was so okay. So there you go. Give them a little honk, and out they come. The baby, of course. Nursing can cause nipple pain. All right, well, we understand that. Somebody's chomping on your nipple. I understand. Nipples are also an important part of self-exams. Okay, well, this is stuff that obviously just for women. Dry, flaky nipple skin is common. Just have some K-leave around and rub it in. Oh, and this is important, but dry skin could also be a sign of breast cancer. So just letting you all know out there, just make sure you're always checking yourself. Obviously. Nipple inflammation is a red flag of something else there too. So watch out for inflamed nips. And I think that's it. So obviously this was just for women, and it was about breast health and breast cancer prevention. But there was some good stuff in there that was just general knowledge that I guess, I know, guys, we didn't really get anything out of that for ourselves. We wanted to know all of the hidden secrets of our nips. But I guess it's just as good thinking about women nips, lady nips as well.